So, hello, members of Group One. I know you guys are probably wondering what the hell is Mr. Anderson doing on this documentation. So, I figured to just create this video. Probably we could probably all do a Zoom call like Dr. Lewis kind of explain. But the more I look at the information that he gave us, I'm going to kind of switch over to the task at hand and something. One of the things that he was mentioning. So I'm looking at part eight. I know we're trying to hurry get this done because eventually we got to produce something. And so, in my opinion, I think we've all got great information on the different bullet points. And so now the question is how to put these bullet points together. I'm sure some of you probably already have worked with Dr. Lewis before. I know this is my second time, and so I kind of get an idea for his personality and what he's probably looking for. So I know he's probably looking for the creative side of us, which is why he just put us together and just threw I guess you could call it blanket or bland documentation out of what we're looking for. And so what I try to do at times is look for key words or key ideas that he kind of hint out there at times. And so what I was looking for right here, where it says motivate the adult learner, and then these possible strategies. I know that we're talking about creating groups and what it takes to create a group or the things that you have to do. And so that goes back to the first few bullet points, where it's the effect of the size of the group, the dynamics, the deadline, systematic approach, and then of course the planning for a project. And so I know we all kind of stumble over the terminology of creating a brief. It's been a long time since I've actually done a brief, and you can even look at some of my tabs up here. I have all sorts of briefs pulled up, trying to remember, excuse me, exactly how to do it. And there's so many briefs that you can do, and so I think I kind of got a point to where we are with the brief. So at the very bottom, everything that I'm putting in orange, I'm just kind of explaining what I think we could do. And please, by all means, if there's something that you don't like or object to, change it. Please change. I'm not trying to take over. I just want to hurry and start kind of pushing this out there, especially since this is due Wednesday. So I kind of got started with, of course, summary of a project for memos or briefs or anything. We're gonna kind of explain once we're completely done what we're trying to do with the summary. Then, of course, give the objective. And I notice in most briefs that I see, the objective is just a quick sentence of what we're trying to do. And so my mind is just to say, hey, we are trying to find strategies with the professional learner on how we could motivate these adult learners by establishing these groups. And then you guys hit it on the head when we got started, where sometimes we as adults do have issues with creating groups. And then, of course, you go down to your target audience, who we're trying to target. And I figured, of course, with something like this, I would have targeted administrators, leaders, adult learners. In my role, of course, central office personnel, so on. If there's others you could think of, you could put in there accordingly. Or we could do this option where some briefs suggest, instead of doing bullet points, you actually kind of write your target audience. So that's why I kind of wrote this sentence right here. So, and please, my English is not that great. Sometimes I may misspell words, put words out of context. So please help me out if you see something out of hand. Okay, then we come down to the challenges. What I'm doing right now, I kind of figured that with the challenges right here, that this could be the starting statements of a challenge. So, and the creative part that I'm trying to put behind it is not to necessarily just put the bullet point that's already there, but basically kind of change. So that's why the size really matter, how to select groups. What I'm hoping for is, I think was it Kim? Kaylin. Since Kaylin did this particular group right here, that she could kind of summarize her idea of why she thought does size matter. And I know she mentioned whether or not you should have an even number, odd number, so on. Then I go to how to establish roles by determining the dynamics of a group and make sure our voices are heard. That's a combination of my bullet point and I think Caitlin's, where we both kind of talk about the same thing. She talked about how to establish the roles and determine them. And then my bullet points more so on the dynamics of the group, and then let's just make and then kind of figure out how the voices are heard. So basically, right now we are only talking about the challenges as we see them, and then of course, how much time do you have? I think that was Kim's her question. So basically, as far as how much time do you have, just trying to hit the point of. So I'm going kind of fast because I don't want this to be too long. But basically, there was a section in the bullet point of that related to the time frames and so on. And then I kind of figured that we can come back to yes. Can you keep everyone motivated? I think that was another Kim uh, part right here. And then of course, can you hear me now? Once again, just trying to kind of spruce it up a little bit as far as the challenges that we ask. And of course, can you hear me now? Would be just communication, the challenges of communicating in the group. And so then I want to end it. And in my mind, I'm thinking then we could add something else, or you guys could change it up. But this would probably be Landon's part where we mentioned the strategies that goes back to the professional development piece and the steps that he is thinking of. And I think, guys, that would probably give us our brief. And so once again, please just chime in and then put what you think. But I was just trying to do it that way. And sorry, like I said, you probably saw a lot of adding, deleting. That's just how my mind works at times when I'm trying to create stuff. And so just please chime in, and I hope that I didn't confuse anybody.